we are talking about the Israel's style of attack. In 12 days war, Israel fought with Iran, and finally they have attacked on Iran's national television building. They have destroyed that. Some commentators are assuming that the way Israel attacked on Qatar, maybe their target is Al Jazeera English or Al Jazeera Arabic, because Israel already killed couple of Al Jazeera journalists in West Bank, Gaza, Jerusalem and in Palestine. And what is your comment on that?
Well, previously a minister in Israel, I think it was Ben Gavir, who said anyone who watches Al Jazeera should be tried. Because Al Jazeera opposed the truth and because you can't get away with killing almost 1 million Gazans. That is the rhetoric that these ministers, or of course Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet, wants to impose. But today attack, it's in a residential area. One thing that the international media outlets are forgetting to mention, that this attack in Qatar's Doha was in the residential area, which is also surrounded by government buildings. So that is quite the sensitive position to target in a sovereign nation. Doing so, it had called in condemnation, but I am waiting to see what kind of joint collaboration the Middle East states are playing. We of course have Saudi Arabia here. We have the United Arab Emirates, we have Qatar, we have Oman, and of course the leader of UAE is already visiting Qatar to understand what kind of regional response they should do in order to stop Israel's spill out into its own neighborhood. The only reason I see here is that Israel is becoming a pariah state given by its own actions. Any hope of survival from the hostages that were taken in by Hamas is vanishing by these decisions of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Before 9/11, I mean 11 September, the geography was one type. After 9/11, America's situation totally changed, because after the Cold War, only one war took place, that is Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990. But after 9/11, United States invaded Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, and later Arab Spring came. That means the entire scenario has got changed. My question is to you, has America lived up to its promise of never forgot when it comes to unity and resilience?
Complicated question for me to answer, but if you look at what you mentioned, Arab Springs, and how the president back then, I think it was George W. Bush Jr., who came popularly on TV and said there are weapons of mass destruction in Iraq which we must obliterate and we must find out and destroy. Similar pattern in today's modern times, there are nuclear weapons and warheads in Iran. An assumption. To a certain degree, there were no weapons of mass destruction, and definitely there were no nuclear warheads in Iran. So this narrative towards other countries becoming superior to them is a complexity issue that the United States faces. Today, in the world stage, I think that such a complexity they are facing it with the second in line emerging power, China. And of course, today why China is relevant, because if you look at September 3rd's parade, in Beijing, their military weapons were showcased to the entire globe, and people took note how China had made these developments to fruition. So once again, I would like to reiterate the fact that when US just only needs a reason to go targeting another country. A similar pattern is seen in Israel as well. They, especially in the case of Israel, they don't need any reason to go targeting a sovereign nation. Today it was Qatar, tomorrow it could be Bahrain. And this is why the Middle East is going through an extended period of heightened tensions.
Nepalese Prime Minister has flown away, but where is he now?
Well, I would want to just say the Gen Z has an allergic reaction to helicopters in general, because of course it is followed suit. But right now there are curfews in place. The military Nepal army is conducting curfews in order to look at civil unrest that had taken place, of course to protect all the assets and businesses that reside in Kathmandu as well. But they are looking forward to formating an interim government following their close neighbor Bangladesh, our country, our nation. But we must hope to see there is progressive change in Nepal society in the coming days. That's about it from my end.
Right, sir.